The terrifying last minutes of Hunter Mark Uptain. Hello and welcome back. Are you guys tired of those grizzly bears attacking? Because guess what? I am back again with another evil bear related story. Today I will unveil the story of Hunter Mark, and trust me, you guys will be left astonished. So let us begin. It was a warm day, peaking at 73 degrees in nearby Moran. And while field dressing, the elk Uptain removed his shirt and left it at his back nylon shoulder strap holding a Glock 10mm handgun 5 or 10 yards uphill of the carcass. And while field dressing, the elk Uptain removed his shirt and left it at his back nylon shoulder strap holding a Glock 10mm handgun 5 or 10 yards uphill of the carcass. A canister of bear spray was slung from a hip holster on Uptain's left side. But Chubon's bear spray was left in his pack because it had become cumbersome carrying on his horse, he told investigators. Uptain was removing the bull's head, with Chubon nearby, when they heard a sound of rocks tumbling, presaging the attack. Mr. Chubon stated that he looked up and saw 2 grizzly bears running full speed directly towards them. Game Warden John Stephens wrote after interviewing the surviving client. Uptain's first reaction, Chubon recalled, was waving his arms and yelling in the fleeting moment before he was struck and repeatedly bitten. The larger of the 2 Bruins, an adult sow, was the aggressor, while its grown cub was initially just moving around in the background. Chubon's first reaction was to retrieve Uptain's Glock from the nearby gear pile, but he didn't know how to function the slide on the top of the firearm that chambers a bullet. Chubon stated that he could not fire the handgun initially because of the bear's close proximity to Uptain, the report analysis says, fearing he would unintentionally shoot Uptain. The Floridian client also told investigators he could not remember if he attempted to pull the trigger. When the sow diverted its attack to Chubon, he tried to throw the gun to the man who knew how to use it. But the firearm fell short of Uptain and no longer contained the 15-round magazine of 10mm full metal jacketed bullets that Chubon inadvertently injected while trying to disengage the safety. The handgun was otherwise functional, Teton County Sheriff's Office determined after an analysis. Chubon reported that he was able to sidestep the grizzly, but that it grabbed his right boot with its mouth. In a brief tussle, Chubon suffered abrasions to his right arm, fingers, and left knee, and a puncture wound on his ankle. Later, he refused medical treatment and quickly flew out of Jackson Hole Airport, hours before his guide's body was discovered. Although the outfitted crossbow hunter has been unresponsive to the news and guide's requests for an interview, he told Orlando, Florida television station WESH he thought he was about to die. Somehow the grizzly let me go and charged Mark again, and that's when I made the decision just to run for my life, Chubon told the TV news stations. Chubon told Game and Fish his last view of Uptain was on his feet fighting with the bear. A Teton County Sheriff's Office report appended to the investigation, however, contradicts that, stating that Chubon's last view was of Uptain bleeding severely and being dragged, and screaming as the grizzly tore into him. It was windy, Chubon reported, and after leaving the attack site and running to 2 horses 300 or 400 yards uphill, he never heard more yells or gunshots. Reaching Terrace Mountain's crest on horse around 4:30 p.m., Chubon found a cell signal, alerted authorities, and waited 2 hours to be flown out of the wilderness. He told dispatch during his first 911 call that he thought the guide is dead. Daylight soon ran out after a brief aerial sweep looking for Uptain. All told, Uptain suffered 38 puncture wounds and 14 ripping or tearing wounds. But the chief injuries incurred in the fight for his life were to upper thighs on both legs, which had been deeply torn and ripped and endured massive blood loss. A crushing wound impacted the hunting guide's forehead, exposing bone and cartilage, and his scalp had been peeled off from his forehead to his neck, though his skull in the exposed area was intact. The fatal cranial injury Blue alludes to is not included in a post-mortem examination report that Teton County Deputy Coroner Dave Hodges authored. Because of state statute, the actual autopsy is also not included in the investigation report. Uptain's death was rapid but not instant, according to the investigation report. That point was emphasized in the investigation analysis of the attack, which concludes that Uptain stopped the mauling with bear spray at the initial attack site and then left under his power before collapsing. All I have to say is that he was a truly brave man, but those injuries didn't let him live through. Courage such as Uptain's is indeed hard to find. He will always be remembered. With this, we have reached the end of today's video. If you guys liked the video, hit that like button. Also, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Bye.